Hello everyone, this is part 20 of What If Naruto Was Iron Man, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. The Sandime in his life had made many painful and not so painful decisions. None of those, however, could prepare him for the decision he now had to make. As he looked at everyone in the room, he said, "Chio, what are you willing to do to see your great-grandsons taken care of?" Chio frowned and said, "What I must." The Sandime said, "Are you willing to betray Suna and aid Konoha?" Chio said, "Yes," causing the three Sand Sibs to go wide-eyed. The Sandime looked at them and said, "What about you three? Now that you have heard everything, what is it you will do?" Since Chio stated the Kazekage wants you 3D, will you be willing to join and serve Konoha? Kankuro looked between everyone and then at his sleeping brother and said, "What will you do about Gaara?" Naruto shot a look at the Sandime who said, "That will depend on the actions of your brother and also an inspection of his seal by my student Jiraiya to make sure that whatever it was Naruto did to the seal is correct." Naruto snorts and said, "Ero-sanin will find it's done correctly, and no, I will not tell you how it was done either. Clan secret and all that political B," as he crossed his arms. The Sandime sighed and said, "Hear the deal, Chio. You will spend the next 6 months in Anbu lockdown. I will allow you to write a family scroll detailing your puppetry for your great-grandson to use for their family jutsu. You will also make a list of every poison you know and their antidotes for our medics to learn. You will have your chakra sealed off so that way you can't use your skills with chakra strings to take out my people. If after 6 months you exhibit good behavior, I will have you released from the lockdown and you will be allowed to live with your grandson if they wish it then, and if not, you will be given your own place. You will not be free though. You will have a security seal put on you so that you can only come out of your home during the day, and you will have a security guard that will watch you and go where you go to make sure you are not a danger to my people or anyone who might try and attack you. You will also work with several medics who specialize in poisons who will know all the poisons and antidotes you wrote down, and you will work on creating new ones for our villages used 2 days a week. This will be a mission for you, and you will be given a C rank pay for every new poison or antidote you come up with. This is how you will support yourself. Also, in the event Suna betrays Konoha, you will also be required to give all information you have on Suna security, numbers of nins and ranks, and anything else vital that could help us. After all, you claim you would do anything for your great-grandchildren, and if Suna does betray us, they will be targeted by Suna. Do you agree with the terms of your family stay here?" Chio said, "Yes, Hokage-sama." The Sandime said, "Good. Anbu, take her away and have Abiki come see me so I can inform him about her living arrangements." The Anbu nods and shushan away with Chio. After they were gone, the Sandime said, "Now as for you three. Due to the nature of..." Tsunade said, "Just shut the hell up already. You're a puppeteer, right?" Kankuro said, "Yes." Tsunade said, "And you're a wind user, right?" Temari nods and Naruto said, "Just in case you're wondering, your bloodline allows you to use any wind jutsu you master without the need of hand signs to do them." Temari's eyes got wide and she nods her head, and Tsunade said, "Your brother, what skills does he actually have?" Naruto said, "His sand control, no taijutsu, his ninjutsu is all tied to using the sand. Nothing else." "What, you think he let me just walk up and work on his seal? I had to beat the S out of him to it. That reminds me, Gigi, I sort of blew one of the walls of the Chunin Stadium away and broke the plumbing." The Sandime hit his head on the desk, and as everyone's sweat dropped, he finally looked up and his eyes landed on Temari and sighed and said, "Temari, do you understand the information you have been given about your parentage?" Temari frowned and said, "Basically, I'm related to everyone in this room in one way or another." Naruto said, "Not yet. Give it a few years and you probably will be," only to get an elbow in the gut from Tenten, who was blushing. Temari said, "So, what will happen to me?" Tsunade said, "Do you still wish to live with your siblings?" Naruto said, "Except me. We don't know each other yet, and I know you probably don't trust me." Temari looked at Tenten and said, "He doesn't know when to shut up, does he?" Riku said, "Why do you think Madara d?" Temari laughed and Tenten giggled at that as Naruto said, "Hey. Just then there was a knock on the door to the Hokage office and the Sandaime sighed and said, "Come in," and thought, maybe this will give me a few moments to think. As a woman walked into the room with a little boy and an older man and Naruto said, "Tsunami, Inari, Tazuna, what are you doing here?" Each of the three named looked confused and Riku said, "Thank you for coming so quickly and please excuse my godson. I showed him a video I made of my time in Wave to show him the rumors were true and I also showed him a video of you three but have not had a chance to inform him of what it is I had you come here for. That is how he knows of you." Tsunami quickly said, "It's no problem Riku-sama and it's a pleasure to meet you Naruto-sama. As you already know I'm Tsunami and this is my son Inari and my father Tazuna. We are eternally grateful for everything you both have done for our country," with a bow. Naruto said, "Tsunami, please never bow to me. The people of Wave are the real heroes because you stood up and endured the hardships of Gato and survived. Surviving hardships and protecting that which is precious to you is a sign of a strong person. You have your son and father with you still even when Gato wanted you 3D. That makes me see that you three are the real heroes of Wave." Tenten bit her lip as she watched Naruto talk to Tsunami and she thought, so he has feeling for her also, not like the ones he has for me but still. Riku said, "Well if you don't mind me interrupting Naruto but I think I should tell you why these three are here. You see Tazuna is a contractor and I have plans to open several business in Konoha and he is going to be in charge of building those business. Tsunami will be the business manager for these business. I'll be returning to my home soon and won't be around as much so Tsunami will report to you and Tenten." Naruto said, "Your home?" in a questioning voice. Riku said, "Oh my, with all the excitement the past few days I suppose that slipped my mind. You see when I went and had Gato eliminated to free Wave the people of Wave asked me to become the new feudal lord of Wave. Quote. Now everyone but the people from Wave were wide-eyed and the Sandaime said, you're a feudal lord." Riku said, "Yes, I had Ichigo officially recognize my claim to the law so it's official now." Naruto said, "But what about?" Riku said, "Relax, I'll still be around. After all I have to help train you and Tsunami for the future of both your countries," making everyone look at her. Tenten asked, "What do you mean?" Riku said, "I'm only going to be the Lord of Wave for a short time. I wish to help them recover and get back on their feet while training someone for the role of leading the country. I've chosen Tsunami as my successor but there are a few things that have to be taken care of first. You see there are some laws we need to get around like if Tsunami here were to become pregnant by a man from Iwa, no matter the way she became pregnant, by the laws of Iwa Tsunami would be considered his wife and could claim the law of Wave Lord." Naruto said, "Is that another of those B-laws like the one they got in Suna that says when two people want the same property be it a piece of land of a woman the woman is treated as property and the winner of a fight to the death is the owner of the property," shocking most of the people in the room he knew of that law. Riku said, "Yeah. So to get by this law I want to protect Tsunami so I am not allowing her to take over until she has found someone to become her husband. I can't have kids and while Tenten is technically my closest living relative and I could have her become my successor I'm not because I got the feeling she will become the wife of the Lord of Lightning Country." Naruto said, "Hey, my uncle said he's not going to ever marry again." Riku said, "I wasn't talking about your uncle. If Tenten being my niece could claim the law of Lord of Wave, what does that say for you, the nephew of the Lord of Lightning and his only living blood relative?" At this everyone was wide-eyed and a voice from the door said, "Actually the situation is a little more complicated than that Wave-san," as everyone turned and saw a fat man with a woman with long brown hair standing there who did not look amused to be there with the hat of the Mizukage on her head and Ichigo was standing there as well who had all let themselves in. The Sandaime got up and walked over and began flashing through hand signs and without calling out the name breathed a huge fireball at the door destroying the door and he said, "Might as well, it's not stopping anyone from coming in. Lightning-sama, Mizukage-san." The man said, "My name is Hida and I am the Lord of Water Country and this is my daughter Leela, currently the godai Mizukage." Tenten frowned and shot a look at Riku and thought, "This is your doing." Riku who had got the message sent back, "No, I admit I brought Tsunami here because Naruto would have worried about her and her family because he does have feeling for her but they are not like the feelings he has for you but I did not bring those two here." The Sandaime said, "Forgive me your lordship. I had not had the pleasure of meeting you before so I am sorry for my failure to give you proper respect." Hida said, relax, so this is the person who defeated Madara Uchiha. Naruto said, yeah, the pain in the A. What of it, you old goat? Causing nearly everyone in the room to have a heart attack and Leela to burst out laughing. Hida said, perhaps your future husband is more like you than I first imagined, dear, causing her to shut up and everyone to gape at him. Naruto said, now hold your horses, you senile old man. I am not marrying anyone. I don't care if you're Kami herself, there's no way in hell you're going to tell me what to do. Hida said, really? It's not negotiable, boy. Either you marry my daughter or I will have the Hidden Mist Village declare war on Konoha. Naruto frowned and looked at Leela and said, you don't like this either, do you? Leela said, nope. Unfortunately there is little either of us can do about it. The laws of the Land of Water and of the Hidden Mist Village state the strong lead while the weak follow. Madara Uchiha is responsible for turning my older brother into the Jinchuriki of the Sanbi as well as controlling him when he was the Yondai Mizukage. I was able to break Madara control over my brother, but Madara broke the seal and K my brother. He is also the man who K my mother and nearly destroy my country and village. By UK him you could walk into the Hidden Mist Village and be declared a challenge to me, and if you defeated me you would be named the new Mizukage. However, because I am the daughter of the walking fat ass over here, my duties to my country come before my village. I have to begin to train my successor because my father wishes for me to marry the man who defeated Madara, which is you. Naruto frowned and Ichigo said, I'm afraid there is little I can do also, Naruto, because there is a similar law in the Land of Lightning. The only consolation I can give you is that since you're the last of our family who can pass on our bloodline, you can marry several women, so if you and Tenten was it. Tenten nods and Ichigo said, you and Tenten, who I understand are starting to date, can still be together. Riku cleared her throat and said, perhaps I might have a solution to solve all the problems. Tenten glared at her and said, you're going to have him marry Leela, me and Tsunami here, and have all three countries unified into one country, and to keep the balance between the hidden villages without worrying about destroying them. A new village is going to be built in the land wave with ninja from all three villages, and the village is going to be named Arashi. Everyone was looking at her shocked, and Naruto thought, that's what happened last time, wasn't it? Tenten thought back, yeah, except you were the Wave Lord and the Raikage daughter was also mixed into this. Riku cleared her throat and said, actually that doesn't sound like a bad idea and better than what I was going to say. Especially with the report that Suna is preparing to go to war with us and is trying to ally with Iwa, and also the report I got that Orochimaru is building his own village and plans to attack Konoha during the Chunin exams. Naruto looked at Riku and said, you hate me, don't you? Riku said, you say something. A cough was heard and everyone saw Tsunade, who was the one who coughed, and she said, before anyone else tries to decide the life of my nephew, I have a few things to say. It's apparent that everyone wants a piece of him for one reason or another. What I propose is that a trail basis be done where Naruto is allowed to date Tenten, date Tsunami just to satisfy Riku, and if they don't have any chemistry then Tsunami can look for her someone else. I understand why Riku wants Tsunami instead of Tenten to be the Lord of Wave, because Tsunami from Waven can relate to the people there and they will trust her, but Tenten won't have the trust she does. Right. Riku nods and Tsunade asked, is that acceptable to you as well, Tsunami? Just a date or two with the Barker here to see if you have any chemistry, and if not then you may continue to look for someone while you do whatever duties Riku has for you. Tsunami said, yes, that is acceptable. Tsunade said, good, now Tenten. You seem like a smart girl, so you know as the last male of our family he has to have multiple wives, right? Tenten frowned but nods her head. Naruto said, don't I get a say? Tsunade said, no, you ran your mouth against Madara and got yourself in this mess. Now be quiet and let me get you out. Naruto crossed his arms and leaned against the wall and said, Shikamaru right, women are troublesome. On a hill nearby Shikamaru sneezes. In the Hokage office the now passed out Naruto, thanks to several well-placed lumps on his head, missed Tsunade, turning to Leela, and she said, next we have you. The laws of Uland state that the strong lead and the weak follow, right? Leela nods and Tsunade turned to Hida and said, then I propose a fight. The Chunin exams will be here this time around. You and your daughter here come for the exams. I propose no matter what happens in the Chunin exams, a match will be held before the actual tournament starts between Leela and Naruto. Hida said, while I see where you are going with this, what's to stop Naruto from throwing the match to make it where they gain their freedom out of it? Tsunade said, because I will place myself as collateral. If Naruto loses, then I will become a servant to you for the rest of our days. I do not believe he will want that, so he will fight with everything he has. Either way you win. You either have your daughter marry Naruto or you gain your own personal doctor for the rest of your life. Naruto said, no, I won't let you do it, Tsunade, as he slowly stood up. Hida smirked and said, deal. I'll warn you of this, boy. My daughter has a bloodline that allows her to control lava. Do you understand the situation, Leela? You win, you get your freedom. You lose and you marry this boy. Leela said, fine. As she eyed Naruto carefully, who was glaring at her, and he said, well, looks like you're F-lady, because I won't Tsunade become his servant. Leela said, and I won't let you defeat me either, because I have things left to do. Both of them glared at each other, and Tsunade said, then in that case I have one last thing to say. Are you planning on Naruto to be the Lord of Lightning Country when you retire? Ichigo said, originally no. I had planned for the Raikage daughter, who is also my niece by marriage, to take the La. However, to solve this problem I propose a way to make that match a little more entertaining. Naruto will not only have to face Leela here, but also he will have to face the Raikage daughter. If he wins, he gets the La of Lightning Lord. If he doesn't, then the Raikage daughter does. However, to make it where it's not a complete 2-on-1, I will make it where if she loses to the Mizukage, then she will have to marry someone from your village as a peace treaty. Do you all agree? Naruto frowned and said, fine. Leela said, what happens if I defeat Naruto but lose to the girl? Hida said, you still will marry Naruto. It's all or nothing in this match. Naruto said, I have but one thing to say. When this is over and after I win, I'm going to make your lives a living hell. Hida snorts and said, boy, there's no way you can make my life any more hell than this psycho has. I'm hoping that once she gets her laid she will calm down. If not, it won't matter because she will be your problem. Ichigo said, you won't be able to touch me either. Naruto said, I should warn you also. I have earned myself several names over the year. One is the #1 hyperactive surprise ninja and another is prank master from hell. Riku said, you also been given the name stamina freak, but I'm sure once everything's said and done these three ladies can verify that for us. This caused everyone to glare at her and she said, what? Naruto shook his head and said, well, if that is all, then, hey, where did you three get the popcorn from? Everyone looked over and saw Temari, Gaara, and Kankuro all sitting on the couch with a bucket of popcorn. Temari said, this soap opera better than anything we see in the desert, so I had Kankuro get some with his puppets. Tsunade said, well, if you all don't mind, we all need to figure out what to do about our family problem here. Naruto said, simple, make them genin, a place to stay, and have Gigi here step down and become the genin sensei so he can meet his granddaughter, as well as make sure nothing happens to either of the boys while helping them get stronger. You become God. I'm Hokage since you actually got this mess straightened up, and clean up the rest of your dad's mess here and use Kagebunshin to do paperwork. Maybe get that medical program that you wanted to started and take Sakura as your apprentice. Have Shizune get her started while you get used to the job, and I would ask that you also take Tenten as your apprentice, but I don't know if she wants to be a medic. Me. I'm going out to get drunk and then I'm going to be some S up to clear my head, and then I am going begin training because I've got less than 6 months to get strong enough to defeat a cage. Uncle, you and me tomorrow at 6 a.m., training ground number 7. Got it. Everyone was looking at him with a WTF look, and Tsunade said, who the hell do you think you are? Naruto said, I'm the guy with INL who going to F every one of you up for the F migraine I got. Now if you will excuse me, I've got a bottle of sake with my name on it, as he walked out the room. As everyone tried to figure out what to say, Gaara said, you know sis. I can see the family resemblance. I just wonder if he's on the rag also when he's like that. The sound of screams and fist-meeting flesh were heard all over Konoha, just before a sonic boom was heard and all the windows in the village was busted. Tenten looked at Riku and said, that reminds me, when are you going to teach me to fly? Riku sighed and said, right now, we need to find your boyfriend before he drinks himself to death anyways. Tenten walked out and saw Sakura, and Tenten said, Tsunade in there, tell her your name Sakura and Naruto and I sent you in. Sakura asked, are you sure it's okay? Tenten said, Naruto asked Tsunade to make you her apprentice, now if you will excuse me I need to find the barker. Sakura smiled and said, thank you and good luck. Tenten said, it's not me that's going to need the luck, as she left. Sakura thought, I wonder who to feel more sorry for. Naruto or her. Naruto was flying through the air when a beeping sound was heard and he began to lose altitude and he said, hey, what the hell? Eva said, sorry Naruto-kun but we're out of water so that means we're running out of fuel as well. I'm having to take us to a lake I detect nearby so we can recharge. Naruto frowned and said, alright. As he saw the lake coming into view Naruto was expecting to land but instead crashed into the water and sank to the bottom of the lake. Eva turned him around so Naruto could see the sun from above in the water and she said, just relax, I'm recharging as we speak and you need time to think and relax. Naruto sighed and closed his eyes and thought, Eva, can you remote access Riku? Eva was silent a moment and said, yes. Naruto nods and said, I want you to find out about my last life she went through, show me everything. Do it like you did when I was in the hospital because I'm going to take a nap, as he closed his eyes. Eva sent the request to Riku and waited a few moments and got a message from Riku. In Konoha Riku frowned as she got Eva request and she thought, I guess there's no helping it, and said, that's enough for now. I need you to head to your house and tell your dad to expect a large group of people at your home. Something's come up that he needs to know about. Tenten looked at her and said, what's wrong? Riku said, just trust me Tenten, just for this and tell your dad to act like he doesn't know anything and also you don't know. I will explain everything once everyone gets there. Sire in a little while, as she left in a swirl of water. Naruto was sleeping when he was awakened by the suit taking flight and he asked, what's going on Eva? Eva said, Riku sent a message for an emergency meeting and needs you to come to Tenten house. Something has happened and she will explain when you get there. She also said to act clueless about what you see and hear. Naruto frowned as the sight of Konoha came into view and then as he landed in front of Tenten's shop he saw Tenten who had her arms crossed taping her finger on her arm and Naruto said, I took a nap and did some flying. I haven't had a drink, yet. Tenten who was calming down shot a glare and said, and you're not damn it, now come on inside. Whatever it is Riku has to say is important. As she walked inside and once Naruto came in she locked the door and walked into the back and into the house part of the shop. When Naruto walked in the room with Tenten he saw Kankuro, Gaara, Temari, Tsunade, Sarutobi, Hida, Ichigo, Leela, Tsunami, Inari, Tazuna, and Dustin. Riku came in the room and said, you're here, please have a seat. Hida said, why did you call us here and say the future of my country will be determined by this meeting? Ichigo said, she told me the same thing. Riku sighed and said, I will answer that, as well as how I know everything about you including things that should be classified like your cold bee kitsune named Kippy and all the info I gave Naruto about you Ichigo. I will also explain why I really wanted Tsunami, Inari, and Tazuna to come, as well as why Madara Uchiha came to Konoha the other day, causing everyone to look at her wide-eyed. Riku said, Naruto, Tenten, you both know a little but you've been given edited versions so please be quiet and let me explain this. Riku took a deep breath and said, as you all know I am the aunt to Tenten here and Naruto godmother, as most of you also know that this body you see is not what I really am. My real body is inside of it dying from a poison attack I received in the past. I believe all of you are at least a little familiar with something called snow armor. Everyone glanced around and Tsunami said, I'm afraid we never heard of it before. Riku said, forgive me Tsunami, you will learn shortly what it is but I was part of the team that created the snow armor. I used that to make this, as her body shimmered and there stood a solid black armor body shocking everyone. Riku changed back and she said, now the reason I called you all here is because I've partially been lying to you all, even you Dustin. When I met you a few months back I knew you were there because over the years in an attempt to save my life in the distant lands outside of the elemental nation I came across a kinjutsu that allows a person to go back in time at the cost of half their life, shocking everyone. Naruto shot a glance at Tenten and Leela said, what do you mean by go back in time? Riku said, exactly that. Naruto, my godson has D twice already and my niece has D once. I have proof of this I can show you. It's also how I know so much about you all. A little over an hour ago my heart quit working. I have about a month of chakra stored in this suit before I will die, so I though that since I am going to die I should show you all exactly what I have been doing and why Naruto and Tenten know things they should have no way of knowing. I ask that what you all see you do not interrupt. Temari said, why should we believe you? Riku said, if you give me this chance you will see why. Don't you want to know about the group of S-rank nins that are probably still coming after your brothers? Sarutobi said, yes. Hida said, very well. Leela said, alright but I want answer after this. Ichigo said, yes. Riku said, very well. I should warn you all that this is all from Naruto point of view. You will learn why shortly. As the room shimmered and everyone saw they were in a basement and then they watched as Naruto learned to seal and unseal the armor and then learn how to fly. After that they saw as he flew to Waven and Tsunami, Inari, and Tazuna were shocked to see the way they were treating Naruto and then as Naruto trained and Naruto stopping the SP ring. Naruto learning about Tsunami being pregnant from her Naruto visiting Zabuza and Haku grave. Returning to Konoha, the Chunin exams where Naruto confronted the Sandaime about his parents, where Naruto be Neji causing Tenten to cover her mouth to keep from laughing which Dustin had no problem doing. They watched as Sasuke was disqualified and Naruto fighting Gaara and then him saving the Sandaime life. Then as he lead Shukaku out of the village and blowing the demon's head off. Seeing him pinball into several trees and then waking up with a broke arm. Finding Gaara impaled on a tree branch which shocked the Sunanins and then as Naruto and Gaara talked. The Sandaime arriving, then Kakashi and Jiraiya arriving and everyone saw Naruto reaction to Kakashi and then as Jiraiya fixed Gaara's seal the video stopped and Riku said, the seal is exactly like the one Jiraiya placed on him, as Naruto was taken to the Hokage office. Learning about the armor he had on as well as his broke arm. They watched as Jiraiya took Naruto out of the village and gave him the name of Iron Man. They watched as Jiraiya gave Naruto a hotel room so he could go flirt which caused Suna to scowl and when it got to the part to explain the Rasengan the video turned white and Riku said, I am editing that part to keep it a family jutsu for Naruto. As the video returned to normal they saw as Naruto met Kisame and Itachi and escaped them. They watched as Naruto and Jiraiya continued their journey, learning what Eva could do and finally meeting Tsunade and Tsunade felt like she was being S in the face by Naruto words. They watched as Naruto won some money and then began to get the equipment and him trying to operate on himself shocking everyone and then as he passed out and Eva getting Shizune to help save him. Then as Orochimaru and Kabuto tried to blow him up while he was out and how Eva saved his life blinding Kabuto. His recovery and learning Naruto's no jutsu was an actual shapeshift and Naruto closed his eyes as Shizune explained the birds and bees to him causing several to snicker. They watched as they came back to Konoha and Naruto inventing the Raisin Shuriken and Naruto was invited to go drinking. Destroying the Hokage door, going drinking, the panty raid and getting his ass handed to him by Yugao. Earning her respect and the practical joke they pulled. Naruto getting guard duty. Getting some cloths, being placed on the team with Tenten and then leaving for Suna. Naruto asking to make a detour. Them going to Wave, finding out the people asked him to be a feudal lord, having the respect of the people there, going to Zabuza and Haku grave, talking to Tenten at which everyone finally understood Naruto feelings, then Kisame showing up and fighting him and Dustin said, you must have brass balls to have said that to Tenten. Then they watched the underwater fight and Naruto taking Kisame arm. Taking Tenten back to get treated, Gaara having brain freeze, then getting back to the hotel. Naruto talking with the Sandaime and then sneaking out to have dinner with Tsunami, Inari, and Tazuna. Then the next day as Tenten and Temari fought and were handcuffed together. Getting a hotel room where why Naruto let Tenten in the room was whited out and then Naruto tickling Tenten. Then the trip to Suna where Naruto learned how to walk on the sand, discovering Danzo was in Suna. The Sandaime ordering Naruto to fight and Keisai, Gaara in Kazekage robes, public announcement of Naruto parentage, the plan to get everyone out of the trap Danzo had them in. Naruto fight with Sai which had all the guys covering themselves. Gaara giving Naruto half of Suna wind jutsu in exchange for the Kijibunshin no jutsu. The trip back along with Naruto being poisoned. His time in the hospital and then they watched as he learned about his bloodline, learned to control the elements, then him training and then when Sasuke tried to K Itachi only to K Tenten and Naruto flipping out trying to K Sasuke and Kakashi who was getting in the way all the way up until Naruto was gone. After that was over, Riku said, when Naruto was dying I was close enough that I was able to have Eva upload his memories to me and I decided to use the time travel jutsu and I went back to give Naruto a fresh start when he was painting the Hokage monument. I killed him and performed surgery on him, giving him the armor again. However, I learned something I had not expected. Because the armor repairs itself from all damage and the armor knew about the part inside Naruto arm as well as all the seals that Jiraiya put on him when I downloaded the memory files into Eva to give to Naruto, Eva replaced everything the way it was, including destroying the bone he had originally destroyed and replacing it without the need for surgery. Now on to Naruto's second life, where most of you will come in at. As the group saw Naruto waking up and Anbu surrounding him and him flying away. Tsunade asked, how did he know how to fly? Riku, who had stopped it, said, the brain works on electrical signals. By sending those electrical signals Naruto brain had before he originally died, he in essence was reborn right there, which is why he thought Tenten was still dead. Now let's continue. They saw as Naruto flew into a lake and Naruto and then it whited out again and the Sandaime asked, why are you editing this? Riku said, do you want me to compromise the identity of several Anbu agents? If so, I can show what is happening. All it is Naruto being brought before you and him accidentally unmasking a couple of them and him confronting you about his parents. As the video returned and saw Naruto going to the academy and the Sandaime there at the academy, which raised his eyebrows, and him giving a small speech, and the marble game where Naruto and Sasuke went to the front of the class, and then as Naruto made a reference to Tsunami being a strong woman and Naruto hinting about the truth about Itachi being innocent and the Sandaime telling him to drop it and the blow up with Naruto quitting. They watched as Naruto left and went to Wave and met Tsunami, Inari, and Tazuna and how he started helping him as he slept in a cave. As he helped speed up the bridge and tried to motivate the people of Wave as he also trained. Finally when Gato Ka man's family and Naruto deciding to take him out. Meeting the next day and planning to attack Gato. They watched as Naruto attacked the docks and then went to Gato mansion after resting a little and then attacking the men who were going to attack the village and then his fight with Kisame, at which time Leela whistled and said, you really did take him out one piece at a time. Naruto going back and shocking everyone as how he got the info from Gato, taking Gato back to the people of Wave, asking for some sake, drinking it and breaking Gato kneecap before passing out. Waking up nude, which caused each of the women to blush, and Tsunami trying to keep him in bed, which made everyone laugh as he finally said he had to piss. Then when he went to get his cloths and Tsunami holding her black panties embarrassing her, and as she moved the cloths and locked the door shocking her and her family, and Riku stopped the video and said, out of your own privacy Tsunami, I will skip what happened since everyone here can guess. Tsunami blushed and said, thank you. Then they saw as Naruto awoke in Tsunami bed and then the little lie Tsunami told her father and Inari. Then they offered the job to Naruto again as Wave Lord and he took it and asking Tsunami to marry him and her accepting after learning all his truths even about Kyuubi, Inari reaction and then meeting the people of Wave giving them every chance to choose someone else, then as Naruto got Wave back on its feet. They watched as Inari was K and Naruto K the bandits, going to water country and the three nins who wanted protection money and Naruto embarrassing them and then as they attacked him outside of the village and him K them. Then Naruto meeting Hido to learn about his family and Hido informing Naruto about Leela which caused her to growl. Then as Naruto went to the hidden mist village and as Leela tricked him into thinking she was a secretary and her taking him back to her place. Hida said, my, dear daughter, maybe we won't have to have a match. Leela watched as her and Naruto talked and she was actually surprised and then as she tried to seduce him and his refusal so he could be faithful to Tsunami and him being ratted out by Eva. Riku said, fine. As they watched as Naruto and Leela started to have with Eva who had appeared and took Inari to another room and at one point Tsunade who had turned her head to the side asked, is that even possible? Even though it was a little faster than it originally happened but Riku added a clock on the side to show how long it went. After they were done Tenten looked at Naruto as did Leela and Tsunami and Naruto said, now I know how a fish feels in the market. They watched as Naruto and Leela went to the council meeting. Naruto being challenged by the head of Tide, Leela asking Naruto to be careful and then they watched as Naruto fought and won his match and Leela said, you actually beat him. Naruto said, I guess. This is the first time I'm seeing all this. They saw as Jiraiya and Kakashi were arrested and Naruto and Leela talked another council meeting, meeting Hida again who told them they had no choice but to get married. meeting Kippy, then as they danced. Inari came back in the room now. Then they watched the leaving water country. Naruto making fun of Jiraiya and Kakashi. Getting some jutsu training. Then as they got back to Wave, meeting Ichigo and the Raikage, finishing the bridge, Tsunami hitting the Raikage over the head for breaking her table, finding out she was pregnant. Inari looked at his mom and said, "Mom, am I going to have a brother or sister?" Tsunami blushed and said, I don't know Inari. Maybe someday. They watched as the bridge was finished, plans for the hospital, Naruto training with Ichigo and hearing stories about his mom. Then as the story about how Temari mom disappeared, returning to Konoha, meeting Tenten. The council meeting where Naruto busted Hiyashi Bubble. Then when Dustin showed up and a whiteout was seen and Riku said, "Something personal about me was said that I don't want brought up." They watched as Dustin confessed he didn't want Tenten to be a ninja and the plan to trick her into thinking it was an arranged marriage. Instead of Eva showing up, it was Riku who showed up and showed Tenten what really happened and explained about Naruto's past life, and the film was edited but only Naruto, Dustin, and Tenten knew this as she explained it was her who came back. She then showed as Tenten played her joke on Dustin, causing him to pale and everyone else to laugh. They watched as Naruto met the Sandaime and read the letter, and they all saw what it said and were shocked, and Naruto bloodline destroying the Sandaime office. Going to take the test. Meeting the Suna Sibs, Naruto tricking Temari into opening a B seal. Then Naruto making Sasuke get beat up. The first test, then the change in the second test, and Naruto fighting and defeating Itachi, shocking everyone. Then as he fought the Iwis Nins who spilled the beans about Temari. Everyone was looking at Naruto in worry when they saw what he did to the Iwa Nins, and then when he met Temari and told her it was true. Then him explaining his theory. Fighting the Sound Nins. They watched as Naruto left and returned to Wave, and everyone was and finding Madara there along with Danzo and Sai. They saw as Leela was under Madara control and Naruto himself. They showed as the remote ball lever tried to save Tsunami and everyone, and then Naruto dying taking a Katsuki with him. Riku said, "Because the remote ball was destroyed as well as the damage from the blast that killed the Akatsuki, I was not able to download Naruto memories again, so all I was able to do is show these video footages. The only thing that survived the explosion was Madara foot, where he had his journal sealed with details about where he lived and everything. After I recovered what I could from there, I returned to Konoha and told everyone Naruto was and asked Tenten to let me copy her memories. She let me, and I used the time jutsu one more time and came back. I arrived several months back before I met you, Dustin, and I began to prepare. I knew Naruto wanted to save Wave again, and I wanted what's best for both Naruto and Tenten, so 2 weeks before Naruto graduated I arrived and gave Tenten her own armor. I made her like Naruto with all my memories of her mom that I have that I used to make that locket. Like Naruto did the first time, she believed that she was the one going back in time somehow when I gave her memories. When Naruto went to paint the Hokage monument, I came him again and gave him the armor and his memories of his first life and told him Tenten came back from a second life. He's never saw any of the things that happened the second time until now. I knew Naruto would most likely try to go save Wave first thing, so that is why I took care of Gato myself. I also went to where Madara was because when I read his journal I learned the truth about Naruto family, and I figured having him reveal the truth would make Naruto life better." Sarutobi said, "So you meant for Naruto to be K and K?" Riku said, "No. I had stroked Madara ego telling him that Naruto would probably be the only one to entertain him ever again since he was so bored. That was why I had told Naruto about Ichigo, because I knew the thought of going to live with him would pop in his head and Danzo would report to Madara, which would cause him to come and brag to Naruto to anger Naruto into wanted to get stronger to fight him. That was why I had the holoprojector with me to show everyone that day. Madara wouldn't K Naruto normally because he wanted him to get stronger. I underestimated Naruto though, which is why things turned out like they did, as she began to stagger slightly. Naruto was by her side in an instant and Riku said, "It's all right," showing all that took more out of me than I thought. He help me outside, in a raspy voice. Tenten, who had moved over, looked at Naruto and moved over to help Riku outside with Naruto. Everyone followed outside and Riku, who was being helped standing up, looked up and said, I'm sorry for any pain or hate I caused. Please do not punish these two. It was all my doing. This is goodbye. Naruto. Tenten, my legacy is in both of you. I leave everything to you both evenly. Tazuna. I name you the Lord of Wave. As she leaned back and looked at the sky and she said, Naruto. Fly me as high as you can, please. Naruto asked, why? In a sad voice. Riku said, my secret's D with me, my body will explode when I D. Please. Naruto closed his eyes and said, all right, as the armor appeared covering him, shocking those who hadn't seen it before, and he grabbed Riku and began to fly upwards. When Konoha looked like little lights, Riku flew off of Naruto's hand and Naruto glared at her and she said, relax. It's time for you and Tenten to make your own future. I'll return someday and keep my promise. I care for you but not as the man I love. He D already. Live a long and happy life. As there was an explosion blinding Naruto. When he could see Riku was gone. Naruto sighed and slowly went back down to where everyone was and Tenten said, so she gone? Naruto nods and thought, she said she would return someday. Tenten thought, I figured as much. A cough was heard and Naruto and Tenten turned and saw all the others who had come to the meeting looking at them, and Naruto asked, what? The Sandaime said, why did either of you not tell us about this time travel thing? Naruto frowned and said, I remember Tenten being K. It seemed so real, I thought it was real, and I didn't trust you after seeing you manipulate me and other around me. I mean, you were able to tell sooner everything about my parents to stick it to Danzo, but after years of being lied to and only finding out about Kyuubi when Mizuki tried to K me, and I didn't learn about my parents until Riku came into my life. How can I be sure if I told you, hey, I'm a time traveler and I got a powerful suit of armor that helps me control Kyuubi? At best I be locked up for the rest of my life, and at worst you K me. After all, the needs of the many are more important to the needs of the few. Why else would you let me endure everything I did even though I was family? Tenten bit her lip and said, I only knew some things. In my time you made a public announcement to the people of Konoha about Naruto after he left the village, about how Danzo was responsible for the Uchiha M and how you discovered he had stolen Naruto's birth certificate and the Yondaime's will when you had Anbu attack and K some of his root members though he escaped the village. I never met Naruto until it was almost time for the Chunin exams, and then, well, you saw how my dad tried to set me up, and with Riku telling me the truth about what dad was pulling. What could I do? The last memory I had was us in front of the Chunin exams in the stadium when Riku came and told us all Naruto was D, having took out the Akatsuki. When Riku said she could save him and asked for me to come back, I agreed. I didn't know it was just my memories. I thought I had time traveled, and I thought if I told anyone without some proof then people think I was crazy, and how was I to rat out my own aunt for trying to save someone's life? If I did that then I would be spitting on the wall of fire we were taught about. The Sandaime looked down and Naruto rubbed his face and said, look, you know everything that we know now. Neither of those futures can exist now because Gato D and Tazuna the leader of Wave and Madara and Danzo are D. The only thing that is still possible is Orochimaru attacking us, and even that probably will change now that Gaara is here instead of Suna. I've got an even bigger migraine than I had before, and all of us need to come to terms that we may or may not have been played on some level by Riku, who tried to make things work out. I mean, how the hell did you find out Madara was D so quick all the way in the land of water? Hida said, this holographic thing appeared above the castle as well as the hidden mist village and showed you and Madara talking and then you blowing him up from the chest down. I guess I was so excited to see that bastard D I never questioned how we saw it. Leela said, same here. As soon as it was over my father's guards were calling for me to meet my father, and he told me we were coming here to meet you and if you lived I was to marry you. Ichigo said, I don't care how it happened. I'm just glad to have my nephew alive and in my life. My offer for you to come stay with me is still open. Naruto bit his lip and said, I still have things to do. I made a promise, even if it wasn't in this life, I'm going to find the princess of Snow Country and help to return her to her throne. I owe it to the one who gave me this, as he tapped his hand against his body and everyone heard the sound of metal on metal. Naruto said, I remember being so angry at Kakashi I was willing to make a deal with Kyuubi when Riku came into my life. Tsunade asked, what was that about? We saw you were angry at Kakashi when you hurt your hand. Why do you hate him? Naruto said, he was one of the guards who protected me as a child. And yet when we went to wave he got trapped in a water prison by Zabuza and I came up with the plan to save him and he thanked Sasuke and Sakura and ignored me. He then gave Sasuke his own training weights and the only thing he trained me or Sakura in before the Chunin exams was the tree climbing chakra control exercise. Then when I made it past the semi-finals and Sasuke did as well he abandoned me. He told me, look Naruto. I only put you in the Chunin exam for the same reason I put Sakura in it. For experience. I never imagined you would make it past the second round and only reason you did was because you couldn't control your bodily functions and farted in Kiba face. Deep down you know that was the only reason you won that match. You are not ready for the exams. I have asked another Junin to take this month and train you in chakra control since that is your greatest weakness. Perhaps after the exams are over you will have enough control so I could teach you something but I am not going to teach you anything because truthfully, no matter what I teach you, you could not defeat Neji and I will not waste my time training you since at this time you're not worth it. I will be taking Sasuke to train him since he is ready for the Chunin exams. At this everyone was shocked and Naruto said, when I pointed out he was betraying his own lessons about abandoning his comrades he shushed away, he refused to listen to me and he never even told me who I was supposed to train under. That was why when I was offered a choice that could help me get stronger, but might cost me my life I was willing to take it. It made me realize all the respect I had for him from a child. The reason I was happy to have him as my sensei, was because he was ordered to. Then when I learned about my father being his sensei, it was a yes in the face. Tsunade said, but things are different now. Naruto's smirk grew even wider and said, tell you what, unless you want to find out exactly how I can make your life a living hell I would suggest you resign and have Leela take over as Lord of Water now, that way she can complete her dream of not only fixing the hidden mist but the land of water also. Hida said, and why do you think you have the right to tell me what I should do and not do? Naruto said, from watching that video of my life I saw and realized something. Even though you are the feudal lord of water you couldn't stop Madara with anything he did from turning your son into a Jinchuriki to K your wife, causing Leela and Hida to glare. Naruto said, Leela won't hurt you because you're the only family she has left but the reason you won't leave the castle until now is because you know someone could walk right up to you and challenge you for the seat of feudal lord, after all the strong lead and the weak follow, that is the law of the land there in water country. Leela said, I won't let you hurt my father. Naruto said, and I don't plan on it. I'm just pointing out that if I wanted to I could get the law from him just like I could from every other feudal lord here and the lord of Wind Country where it would give me the power of 3 major hidden villages and over 20 countries where I could make myself the emperor if I so chose to. At this everyone was wide-eyed and Tazuna said, how? Naruto said, like I told him, the laws that he's using to make Leela and I fight can be used against him. My uncle said they had a similar law and the land of wind has a law saying if 2 people wanted the same piece of property they would fight to the death. I could go to Wind Country and challenge the Lord of Wind and get that country as well. All I would have to do is sell you Nami Ink so that way you never have to worry about someone see off all of Wave from the rest of the world through trade like Gato did. Then by having all the support I did and surrounding the land of fire on 3 sides the Fire Lord would support my claim in exchange for leaving his country alone and by opening trade alliances with all the island nations I could quickly get him to support my rise for the la. But I don't want to be emperor. I won't be unless Hida-kun here hands the la over to Leela so she can make her dream a reality. I'll still fight her and I will still beat her in battle but I do it for a different reason. I want to do it to earn her respect so that way she might think about letting me be in her life like the other me was in his life. Not by force but by choice. Hida frowned and said, very well boy, you have backed me into a corner and I accept. Leela, you are now both the Godai Mizukage and the Lord of Water. Leela said, oh, all that damn paperwork. Naruto said, catch, as he threw a scroll. Leela caught it and asked, what's that? Naruto said, a clan jutsu that will help you with your paperwork trouble. Leela opened it and read it all and her eyes got wide and said, this will definitely help. Thanks. Naruto nods and said, good, now like I said I never liked the idea of political marriages, or any of the old foggies here came up with so that is why I gave you the power to decide your own future. Tenten, you do realize now that we are Riku heirs we both have control and responsibilities of Nami Inc. right? Tenten frowned and nods and Naruto said, I don't want it, I can tell you don't want it. We both have dreams and goals that are not related to it, but the land of wave needs it. I say we give it to Tazuna and have my uncle here officially recognize Tazuna as the new Lord of Wave, so that way the threat of anyone else pulling a Gato on their country will never be possible. What do you say? Tenten said, we just give it away, no strings attached. Naruto said, none, it should be theirs by right already had Riku not messed with everything. It will also help their country to recover, so like Leela they become the masters of their fate, though I would make a suggestion that you make a law saying that the law can't be claimed by illegal use, so that way when Tsunami takes over after you, she doesn't have to fear being by Iwa citizens who want control of your country, and that way no one can K your family for the law or blackmail you for the law. Tazuna said, alright, I can see that, and are you sure that you don't want anything for it? Naruto looked at Tsunami and Inari and closed his eyes and said, no. You have the right to make the decisions for your own future and decide your own fate. Not be manipulated into it by the actions of others. Tazuna said, thank you. Naruto nods and said, I'll have Eva bring you all the les tomorrow. Tazuna nods and Naruto looked at Tenten and said, so. Tenten said, Barker, I don't care if we time travel or not. The memories I have are real. I'll say to you now the same thing I already told you. I want to get to know you and you to know me and go from there. Naruto smiled and his eyes got a glossed over look and he said, I would have liked that. Tenten looked confused and said, what do you mean would have? Eva appeared startling everyone and Leela said, that gets annoying. Eva said, sorry Naruto, but they deserve to know. Sarutobi said, know what? Eva said, I finally figured out why Naruto has a migraine, as well as why he can't feel his right arm and why his vision is doubled. Tsunade frowned and said, what are you talking about? He's never told us anything but his headache. Eva said, he thought it was something minor and had me release a little of Kyuubi chakra into him so he could feel better, but the problem is we didn't know at the time what the real problem is. Tsunade asked, which is? Eva said, remember when you punched him earlier today through the roof? When he landed he smacked the back of his head against the armor and he got a crack in his skull, causing everyone to go wide-eyed. Tsunade frowned and said, how bad? Eva said, the crack healed thanks to Kyuubi chakra, but the bee that went inside had no way to escape and has formed a bee clot in his brain. It's pushing against his brain, affecting his vision and motor skills. When it finishes clotting, it will cause his death, causing everyone to gasp. Tenten looked at Naruto, who had his eyes closed, and said, how long have you known? Naruto said, since I was coming back from Riku death. Eva reported to me about it then. I had asked her to see if there was any cure and she used the remote ball to go to the hospital and speak with the staff there. They said there is no known operation or cure to help someone with this. She just returned and informed me of her discovery. Leela frowned and said, there is a way, I've got some medical skills also, but I would need your assistance Tsunade to save him. Tsunade said, you got it. Leela said, we need to get him to the hospital and get him sedated then. Eva, can you pinpoint where the clot is exactly? A hologram of bones appeared and it zoomed in on the head and a section became red in the back and she said, the clot and the bee is located here. Leela nods and Naruto said, what are you going to do? Leela said, the clot's not actually what's going to kill you, it's the pressure on your brain it causes. By releasing the pressure we can save your life, and then after the pressure is gone then we can remove the clot. Let's go, time's wasting. As she moved over to help move Naruto and shushined away with Tsunade right behind them. Tenten looked at her dad and bolted for the hospital. Ichigo and the Sandaime shushined away. After everyone was gone but Tsunami, Inari, Tazuna and Dustin, Inari asked, Mom, is Dad going to be okay? Tsunami bit her lip and said, I don't know son, let's go. Tazuna said, wait, you're actually going to go through with it Tsunami? Tsunami said, Dad, you saw everything I just did. He was willing to accept Inari as his son as well as a child I was carrying from AT. He wanted nothing more to help our country, no, our family. I'm not saying I love him or don't love him. All I am saying is that I am going to go be by his side in the time of need where he had been for me. Once that is over I am going to get to know him and let you and Inari get to know him. Maybe he will become Inari dad and maybe I will have a brother or sister for Inari. I don't know, but right now I know my place and that is being there for him and praying that he will be fine. Come on son, as she grabbed Inari's hand and began to head toward the hospital. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.